What's going on, friends? This is Steve from Vespa Motorsport and Scooter West in San Diego. Going to go over all the controls, operations, functions, features of the Vespa 300. This video will be very handy for those of you that own this scooter, maybe thinking about purchasing a scooter like this, but just to kind of show you the functions of the controls and how everything operates and works. So this is a 2015 white 300 Super. This information will be appropriate and accurate for just about any of the large frame Vespas. So if you've got a Vespa GT200, GTS, Super, or GTP, any year, any engine size. Keys go in this ignition down here. The ignition switch has 3 positions. You can turn it to the left, turn the key all the way to the left, and remove the key. That locks the handlebars. That's your built-in anti-theft and security feature. Turn the key, put the key in, turn it straight up and down. That's the handlebars unlocked, but the ignition off. So the scooter will not start or run in this position. As soon as you turn the ignition on by turning the key another 15 degrees to the right, you'll instantly notice everything will energize on the dash. So you see everything illuminate there. This is the position in which you can safely start your scooter. To start the scooter, you hit the start button, which is on the right-hand control here. Notice nothing happens until you pull in either brake lever. Pretty much all automatic scooters have this standard safety feature where you have to pull in a brake lever when you hit the start button to engage the starter motor. So I'm going to do that now. Pulling in the brake lever on the right-hand side. The fuel-injected bikes require no throttling, no goosing of the throttle, so I'm going to pull in the brake lever, hit the button. There's this emergency oh shit switch here, which kills the engine. It does not, however, kill the ignition. We tend and strongly encourage and discourage the use of this button, and instead to turn the scooter off, you would again pull in the front brake lever, hit the start button, and instead of using that emergency switch, you reach down and turn the key switch off. Use my wife as an example. She gets in the habit of killing the bike sometimes with this. You run the risk of leaving the keys in the ignition. Worse than that, you run the risk of leaving the actual ignition on, which will very quickly drain the battery. Other controls, on the newest bikes, there's a mode button here that cycles between the trip odometers. So the 2015 300 Sprints and Primaveras have a twin trip odometer. So there's total mileage, trip A, and then trip B. On the Vespas, the headlight is always on, but the headlight control switch is on this side. You have the ability to go between the high beam and the low beam. The turn signal left and right. To cancel, you actually push in on the button, and that cancels the turn signal. And then, of course, the horn is the lower button there. Those are all the handlebar controls you need to familiarize yourself with. When it comes to getting inside the glove box, you push in on the key. The glove box pops open. Notice that you can push in on the key to open the glove box when the ignition is in the off position or in the on position. So with the ignition on, everything energized on the dash, pushing in, pops right open. Functionality of the seat release, the electronic seat release, also works in these 2 positions. You hit this button here, and that pops the seat open. So again, that's with the ignition on, so you could be driving the bike, have the bike started, and still get it underneath the seat. Same thing when you turn the bike off and park it, you can turn the key to the off position, still get in under the seat. And then you'll notice too that with the key switch turn to the left, the handlebars turn to the left, that engages the handlebar lock. Now you cannot get in the glove box, and this button does not actuate the seat release. So if the bike is completely secure when it's parked with the handlebars locked. There's a couple things in the glove box that one needs to know. So again, opening the glove box, you'll see on this particular bike in 2015, it's got a USB connection there. So you can kind of charge a device, a phone, run a GPS, anything like that. There's also a secondary seat release, this black lever here. It's about 1 inch wide and 2 inches tall. In the event that your battery were to die, you're not locked out from underneath your seat. It's pretty slick. You can actually just pull down on this lever, and that releases the mechanical release to get into the seat. So that's kind of an emergency access to the seat. Also underneath here is your emergency toolkit. That cover comes out. The tool roll is tied up in that bag there. That's it for controls within the glove box. We're going to focus our attention underneath the seat. So I'm going to pop this open. One of the awesome features that is standard on the Vespas, and all scooters for that matter, is the under-seat storage bucket. The 2015 is a little bit larger than previous model years, but this bucket cool on all the Vespas, this actually lifts out. That's how you would access the engine, so you can kind of see down in there, see the fuel injection, the water hoses on the 300. The nicest thing about this bucket, those of you that have followed some of our trips, do a lot of touring and travel on the Vespas, so we take advantage of the fact that these remove. Get to the beach, get to the hotel, get to the store, whatever, you just take this out and carry it with you, able to leave all your stuff in it. Very, very, very slick. No other two-wheeler on the market offers anything like that. The large frame Vespas come standard with this seat cover. It's like a shower cap for the seat, tucks into that hole. So when you park the bike on a rainy night in the sun, protect that seat by installing that seat cover. And then of course it tucks nicely back into this hole when not in use. Other thing that's actually really slick on the scooters, that a lot of people kind of forget about, is the fact that you've got these two little posts here. That's so you can actually install your helmet and the helmet of a passenger. It's got one on each side. You take the D-ring portion of your helmet, you hook that on the little spike there, close the seat with the seat lock, the helmet is secure. If someone really wanted the helmet, they would have to cut the strap and render the helmet useless just to get to your helmet. So for the most part, we use that with total confidence all the time. Also, the 300s come equipped with this handy dandy little little spring-loaded accessory carrying hook, so you can hook a bag of groceries, a small purse, whatever on there, and that item would kind of hang down here while you're actually riding. It goes between your legs. The large frame Vespas have always had a passenger foot peg that mounts there, so when your passenger is seated on the back here, they've got a nice comfortable spot to put their feet. This bike actually has a passenger extender, so this aluminum block wouldn't be standard. That's a handy dandy accessory item for anybody looking to do a lot of heavy two-up riding. Okay, another not so obvious function that I've seen people struggle with, even those experienced riders, taking the scooter off the stand and putting it on the stand. I'm gonna show you the way that I think is the best. You always, like a horse, like a motorcycle, on and off from the left-hand side. I think it's best, and you have the most control, to take the scooter off the stand by putting your right hand on whatever grab rail and the left hand on the left grip and just rocking it forward. When you rock it forward, you wanna have your weight more on your heels in case the bike falls that way, you can actually catch it. So I'm gonna just rock it forward. Smooth, easy, complete control. A lot of times, when you rock it forward, especially if you're on a hill, you wanna be able to extend your left hand and cover that brake to keep the bike from rolling, so you've got total control. So rocking that forward, pulling in the brake, voila. With the bike off the stand, you're ready to mount it. The scooters are awesome because you don't have to kick your leg over an engine and a tank. You actually just step through the frame. Get comfortable, get seated on the bike. At this point, we'd be ready to go through our starting procedures, turn the bike on, start it up, make sure your mirrors are good, ready to drive it. We've just completed our ride, we're ready to turn the bike off. We would reach down, not use this kill switch, and instead use the key switch, turn the key to the off, and again, on and off from the left-hand side. I would do the exact opposite of the way you got on it. So hands on the handlebars, you step off and through, always from the left. You put your right hand back on the grab rail, you keep your left hand on the scooter, and you use your body weight as leverage. So there's virtually nothing with the upper body, and I think the best position to be in is this position with your hips opened up to the bike. When you're actually stepping down on the center stand, you can feel when both legs of the center stand are on the ground, that's when the bike is perfectly upright. All you do is step down firmly to demonstrate that. I'm gonna keep my right hand free just to show you how easy it really is to put these bikes on the stands when you do it correctly. Voila, so just a quick little push down with the right foot, and that's taking the bike off the stand, putting it back on the stand. So again, off the stand, right hand back here, left hand here, cover the brake, forward, get on the scooter, start it, drive it, have fun, enjoy. La Vespa Vida. Off the scooter, and again, hips opened up, step down firmly. The bike kind of hops up on the center stand all on its own. Then of course, good habit would be to lock the handlebars. The bike is parked, away you go. And that's that.